RS.
Hello there, my name's Brad. I'm from the Northern Territory of Australia, and this is my Triumph Thruxton 1200 RS. Beautiful machine, rides very, very nicely, but last weekend we had a problem. A very unusual problem in that the front brakes locked up completely when I'm riding at 80 kilometres an hour. Now I was quite lucky that I was in the curbside lane. I was well ahead of the traffic, and I got out of the trouble safely. And luckily for me again, another motorcyclist arrived to offer his help, and he had a 6mm spanner, just like this one here, and we were able to crack the bleeder on the caliper. As soon as I cracked the bleeder, brakes were free, so I was able to continue my ride home. But obviously I thought that was a bit of a serious safety issue. I'm certainly not going to ride it again in that condition. So we did a bit of testing once we brought the bike home, and quite interesting what we found. The results of what we found I'll explain first, and then I'll give you a demonstration. When I applied the brakes hard, the wheel still turns, but it's as you can see, it's binding up. It's not locked, it's binding up. I've taken off from the traffic lights, 400 or 500 metres down the road. Obviously the pads are rubbing against the rotor, and they get hotter and hotter and hotter, and they're transferring that heat to the brake fluid. Now under normal circumstances, hot brakes are not a problem because that excess pressure is just returned to the master cylinder reservoir. In this case, it appears that's not happening. For some reason or other, the hot fluid did not return, and that's what caused the brakes to lock up. Now we'll give you an interesting demonstration of what happens here. First of all, we think there's a problem in the master cylinder. You saw that the brakes were binding and quite tight. Just give that a tap there with the plastic hammer and have a look at the wheel. Spins like brand new. Okay, so what we're going to do now is try and reproduce what happened on the road last Sunday. So we give the brake a big squeeze. I can just turn the wheel, and obviously we can't ride 400 metres with the brakes binding, so we're going to use a hot air gun. We're going to transfer heat. We're going to transfer heat there into the caliper and try and reproduce what happened last week. We'll give it probably 30 seconds or so. It won't need to be red hot. The brake fluid does expand quite rapidly when heated. That should do us. Now we have a look at the wheel. And it's locked. We cannot move it. You cannot move that wheel. It's locked. Now, last time we cracked the leader nipple, which I won't do this time. What I will do, which is much more interesting, we'll tap the master cylinder. Now let's have a look at the wheel. Spins like a new one. So I'm going to send this video off to Triumph Australia, the head office, Triumph UK. Hopefully there'll be an engineer or two who might take a little bit of notice and may be able to offer an explanation for this problem. Obviously, from my point of view, it would be just a matter of changing the master cylinder or putting a new kit in the master cylinder, but I'm not going to do that. Preferably we send this master cylinder off to Triumph for inspection and then see what happens from there. That's how we are now. I'm not not going to ride it until we get this, obviously, until we get this issue sorted. So bye for now, and I'll let you know what happens. For all you Triumph riders, you may be interested in this safety issue. Bye for now.